It's Sunday morning, time for another Wardy's Waffle and Farm update. You can see I'm still in Portugal. We've got a lot of rain behind us. You can see the water's running down this golf course just behind me. And we've just been for lunch at Maria's, and Ollie and Charlotte and Martin, Penny and Bella have just joined us. You might see on Ollie's update tonight. We're going out in a bit to Villamora and spending the night across there. Anyway, this update, I'm up to date with what we've been doing on the farm with what we've posted on Thursday night's update. So I just thought it was time now to show you something I recorded. I think it was August the 8th when I went into Spaldings in Lincoln, and this is the spare parts company, and there's a full update here. I've got about half an hour now in part one, and then I've got another part which I shall post in the middle of the week. And this one though, we're looking at the trade counter, we're looking at the sales team, we're looking at quality control and how they test the hardness of various spare parts, look at the packing, the process, and also the shipping of all the goods, the racking, the warehouse. Lots of detail about the whole running of the inside of Spaldings, the history of the company and how long they've been going. Really fascinating. I was just blown away by how good it was inside there. Anyway, so this first half hour update is about that, and then we've got the second one which I'll post in a week, where we're looking at customer services, product development, 3D printing. This is where they actually make a lot of the parts out of plastic to start with, and then try them on machines to make sure they fit. I know they did have problems many years ago with things not fitting, and they don't have that problem now because of how they develop their various spare parts. And then also the next update, we're looking at the machinery as well, because they do sell some new machinery. Anyway, that's it for the intro. Let's crack on with this update. Hope you enjoy it. Something a bit different, but really impressed with Spaldings and the company. So thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you at the end. So you can see behind me, I've got the Spaldings logo. I'm at the entrance to Spaldings, and we're going to do a bit of a feature from here because most farmers use Spaldings in some form or other. They've been in Lincoln for years, and next to me here I've got Paul, CEO of Spaldings. So Paul, just a quick insight into what you sell and the insight into the company.
Operating out of this site here, we've got two divisions. So we've got our agricultural division and our ground care division. Primarily in agriculture, we're supplying wearing parts, workshop consumables, tools and PPE equipment.
Yeah.
A lot of farmers will see our account managers, but they don't actually see what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, this is a trade counter, so local farmers, if they want to pop in and pick goods up, they can do. But also we get quite a bit of footfall from the local area because we're a still dealer, Husqvarna, Honda and Cress. Yeah. So we do get quite a bit of footfall of non-farming traffic coming through the door. Andrew, we'll walk into the trade counter.
So we've got a few things on display here.
Yeah, on display here we've got a small range of our still equipment. Yeah. We're also showing our Husqvarna and Honda and our latest franchise is Cress. Yeah. This trade counter really is for local farmers, so they can pop in and pick goods up. Yeah. And you do get quite a few farmers coming in, local ones. Oh, the trade counter is busy all day long. Yeah. It's just another service that we offer, really. Yeah. So this is what goes on, and this is the catalogue. So we've got some catalogue there, and we have an iPad there as well, so customers can look at the iPad and look through the catalogue on there. Some customers are coming here to have a change, bring things back and swap around. So John and Jason. John specialises in agriculture. Yeah. And Jason specialises in ground care products. Right. But they work together as a team. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Great. So what we're going to do now, Andrew, is we'll take you through to our telesales office, the agricultural telesales office. We've got 14 telephone account managers, and then we've got 32 field-based account managers. Oh, wow. And that's operated up and down the country. All over the country. And in Ireland as well. Right. So we've got... and Scotland and Wales. Scotland and Wales. Yeah, don't forget them. Scotland and Wales. So in the corridor here, we've got lots of photos. This looks like this is an older one, Paul. Absolutely. A fleet of Vauxhall Vivas. Great. Yeah. And that's the site in the early days? Yes, that's one of the early ones when we took the site on. Yeah. I mean, Spaldings has been going for 68 years. Crikey, yeah. We were Well, it was started by Albert Spaldings actually. He was a
So it started by
a guy called Albert Spalding.
Yeah.
He was a blacksmith. He used to make brushes and shovels, and he used to peddle those wares across the county on a push bike.
Wow.
were bought by a group of farmers in 1966, and up until 2012 we had a farmer on the board. So.
Right, and that was Lincolnshire farmers.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Lincolnshire farmers.
Yeah. Looks like the old square
The old
plough.
square plough, yes.
Remember that? Was this at the Royal Show or?
It's a Royal Show.
Yeah, thought that. Yeah. Oh, you've got some awards here. Yeah, cereals, of course. That's brilliant. Are you going to be with us this coming summer? Possibly.
Possibly.
We shall see.
Possibly.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know, we've got the cereals event on the farm at Leadenham this coming summer, June the 10th and the 11th. No, June the 11th and 12th. Actually, June the 11th and 12th cereals event at Leadenham. We've got quite a few old photos here. What are these, Paul?
Well, this photo here, I think this is when we were based down in Dixon Street.
Yeah.
Really interesting actually. When we look in the warehouse later on, and we look at the narrow aisle racking.
Yeah.
Years ago, we used to put everything in oil barrels, and everything was picked out of those oil barrels.
What, that was your shelves and racking?
That was shelves
was
and
it?
racking. Yeah.
Wow. God.
Yeah, it's quite interesting when you look back at some of these photos.
And believe it or not, that drag, we've got one of those. That's what we use on the frost in the winter time. Big old drag.
We still sell parts for those machines.
Do you really?
Yeah.
After all this time. Look at this. Fantastic. Great.
Right, Andrew, I'm going to take you through into our telephone sales office.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm going to introduce you to Mike Biddy, who's our telephone manager.
It would be a little while to speak to customer service. It might just be on another van.
So when a farmer rings up, this is when it comes through to appear.
Yeah. Primarily this time of year, the phones are just constantly ringing.
Yeah.
Hi.
Mike.
You okay? Good to see you.
And you. So Mike looks after our area and looks after me, which takes some doing, but yeah, he does looks after us. So great.
Try my best. So we open between 7:30 and 5:30 up here.
Yeah.
We dovetail between telesales and field sales to try and offer the customer best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
A bit of continuity as well. So they'll either reach their field sales rep on the road, on the mobile, or they'll have a partner up here in the office that's a constant.
Yeah.
So the idea is to give them a good sort of pathway through the customer experience, buying a product from Spaldings, and getting it on farm as hassle free as possible for the end user.
Do you go out on farm at all?
On occasion, but tends to be left to the field sales rep for that side of things.
Yeah. Is the whole country covered from up here just about?
Yeah, Land's End to John O'Groats and Ireland as well.
Yeah.
We've got a few on annual leave today.
Yeah.
What's really important for both account managers, field and tele, is that our guys operate, particularly in the field, with a live system.
Yeah.
So they can look on their laptops, tablets, and that will tell them the stock situation, which is really important this time of year, that we can give true and accurate information to the customer.
Paul, I've just spotted some very bright coloured parts, but they're not metal, are they?
No, these are 3D printed parts that we've recently designed, and instead of being big chunks of metal up here, it's really good for the guys up here to actually physically see what the part looks like, and particular where we've improved things. So here you can see this is where
you've got
tungsten tiles on the side there. There you've got hard facing, and there you've got tungsten tiles there.
So just for non-farming viewers of this, tungsten it goes on the edge, and it's to help prolong the life, isn't it, on the cutting leading edge?
Very rare that you'll see tungsten wear out fully. The problem you've got with a part with tungsten on it tends to wash away at the back. So what we try and do is use material which is going to try and have longevity in the ground. But it's a good thing for these guys to physically see the parts.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have a look at this in action in a few minutes.
Later on, we'll take you down to the product development department. There you can see how we actually go about designing products and where they come from, the ideas, the concepts.
Yeah, that'd be great. So what's the point of actually making these, Paul, like this?
Well, first thing is, this part's been designed by ourselves, so we've put our improvements onto a part. We 3D print it, but what's really important that we take this to a machine and physically fit it to a machine, and so we can see whether it fits. And it's good to get the customer feedback as well. So we tend to use people that have put the idea forward, which we are very much farmer-led on what we do regarding product development. We get their involvement.
So a lot of the parts will start off like this.
And samples which are produced, we'll take those samples out to the farmer, put them onto the machine, let them use it, and then we can get real good real-time feedback on the product.
Fantastic.
We're going to take you through into our marketing department.
Yeah.
In there we've got two graphic designers who are constantly working on direct mail campaigns, new product sheets. But the main function is working on our catalogues, because we've got two catalogues, agriculture and ground care. They're constantly working on a catalogue, and they're working on the agricultural catalogue, which will come out into 2025, January. That's what we're hoping for.
Right, fantastic. Very studiously working in here.
Over there we've got Tim and Chris. Tim and Chris are our graphic designers, permanently working on catalogues.
The whole year?
Most of the year spent on catalogues and product updates and new product sheets and offer sheets.
How many lines of products have you got, do you think?
With two divisions, we're probably 22,000 products, I would say.
Yeah, crikey, incredible.
And I think in the agricultural catalogue, we're probably up to about 14, I would think.
Yeah.
14,000.
Yeah, right. So a lot of work needed in the catalogues then, if you've got that many.
If anyone receives an email from Spaldings, that young lady over there is responsible.
Josie? Oh, hello Josie.
She's our marketing manager.
Right, so all emails come from Josie?
Yeah, and Sid's working on our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah, great.
And Nick's got multi-roles within the company. Nick is the custodian of our price list. Yeah. So making sure we don't actually lose money. And he's also looks after our because we do export a bit into quite a few countries actually. So we're walking up to Goods In now. This is where we take delivery of all our deliveries from our suppliers. Yeah. Upstairs we've got our dedicated purchasing team. We've got a team of 6 up there. Yeah. They're really busy at the moment because it's really important that we keep our shelves stocked, particularly this time of year. Yeah. I think we've been averaging just the last few days 14-15 tonne a day of goods. And
what would you normally have?
It can be 10 tonne. Yeah. Depends on the time of year. I mean, December, that can be
that obviously that'll be quiet. And
Yeah.
Can you tell by the amount of steel going out, the weight or what's going out, as to what the conditions are like out there in the field?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've seen a massive increase in mould spares being sold.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I took some 2 weeks ago.
Well, you did.
I did. Yeah.
And the early indications, we're not full into full swing of cultivations yet, but early indications are that it is very tough.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the worst year I've ever known. Conditions are horrendous on heavy land. With the amount of rain we've had. The rain obviously equals weight and it's just put the land down so hard.
Absolutely.
And it's just not easy.
We're currently holding at the moment about £7.5 million worth of stock, which is that's where we've been operating at over the last few years. Yeah. So we do carry a lot of stock.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go and have a look.
We've just taken a delivery from Husqvarna. So those goods will.
Those there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a delivery for Husqvarna. We'll unpack those goods, check everything's okay, and then they'll be put onto the shelf.
And do they come direct from Husqvarna or through other dealers?
No, direct from Husqvarna.
Right, great. Yeah.
Everything we try and do is, if there's a particular wear in parts, we'll check it. Yeah. Unless it's a really trusted supplier that we've dealt with for years, and we know the quality's going to be right. But 9 times out of 10, it's really good just to, and we'll show you that process later, just to pull one of the parts out. Yeah. If you get a part where it's showing a grind mark and there's a dot on it, that will show you that it's been tested.
Right, great. We'll have a look at that. Right.
Most of our bolts and consumables will come in pre-packed.
Yeah.
There's some products we have to buy in bulk. So we have a guy who will actually count out the packs of link pins,
So
get labelled up.
So these are all counted individually.
Yeah.
And then what nuts? They're the same.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
I'll introduce you to Stuart Bell. Stuart Bell is our assistant warehouse manager. Now, Stuart really understands how important it is that we get all our orders out on time.
Yeah.
Stuart's, what roles have you worked in, Stuart?
Stores to start with.
Yes.
Did 13 years. Also done sales and back down into stores.
Wow, so you've been here a long while.
20 years.
Oh, great.
I think what's really good, Stuart really understands now how important it is that customers get their goods in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
We do try and aim for next day delivery. That's what we try and aim for. 9 times out of 10, that's what happens.
What about couriers? Because obviously you're relying on couriers being good, and obviously I know I've experienced some couriers are horrendous at finding addresses and reading postcodes. Do you have some you don't use because they're not good?
Well, we was Tuffnells.
Yeah.
We're now DX.
Right.
We have 2 wagons levers twice a day.
Right.
So we have 1 levers at 12 o'clock, which we try and get as much as possible for that next day service.
Yeah.
The second one comes in at 4:45 to spill up and pick up the rest. We have a system in stores office where we can track, and DX will ask us for any extra information if need be on deliveries. So it is challenging at times because a lot of farms are down tracks.
Yes, exactly.
So we do get a lot of feedback asking for extra information, phone numbers.
Do you use 3 words at all?
We do, yeah.
Because that's brilliant.
Yeah, we do use that, and we stress that as well from sales down onto orders and onto transport.
Yeah. Great.
Well, what we're going to show you now, Andrew, is we've invested a lot of money into a warehouse management system.
Yeah.
Where the guys now will have a handheld, which they can. It's like a warehouse sat nav, I would say.
Yeah.
So that'll take you to a location.
So what this is every order coming in the door live.
Right.
So if I was just to open a order up, it then takes you straight to a location.
So that's an aisle and a bin, if you like, right where the part
and it will
is.
work in numerical order, so it does it the fastest way possible.
Yeah.
So there we're going to pick up some bolts in an aisle 13. It will then take you to the nearest next product on the order. So if I it then takes you to the next.
Fascinating.
But it also gives you the image as well.
Yes.
And what we're trying to do is cut down on picking errors.
Yeah.
Since we introduced the system, we had a few teething problems initially.
Yeah.
But we have cut down on a tremendous amount of picking errors. It's quite an efficient system now, isn't it?
50% less last month than last year.
50% less errors.
Yeah.
That's
than last
huge.
year.
Yeah, it's massive.
Right. So can we go and have a look? See if
So the warehouse management system works. So when the goods come in the door, we get it put away. But what it does, it works out where it lived last time, and will take you straight to that location.
Right.
So as we scan a product in, it will automatically send us to that location last time. If that location is being used by something else, it will take to the nearest possible location to where it was.
Yeah.
So what we end up having is a run of products in an aisle. So aisles 14 and 15 are renowned for KV metal. So you have your KV points at the bottom here.
So KV for non-people is Kavernland. Yep.
And the next location down is your KV shares.
Yes. This is for a plough.
And then in this location are the bolts to fit onto the points in the shares. And then if we just walked a little bit further down, it will then take us straight to the moldboards.
Right.
So it puts in place runs of products. So we're always time efficient.
Yeah.
So we can get orders out the door.
Yeah.
The Dug system literally works by scanning these barcodes.
Oh yes, yeah.
So you scan the barcode, and then that relates to that product. So if I was to come and pick KV shares, and I was to scan that barcode, it wouldn't allow me to pick them.
Right.
Because that barcode there is for that location. Whereas this barcode
is for that one. It's for that one there. So the aisles here and the number of parts you have here, stock taking must be a nightmare. How do you sort that?
We do a PI stock take.
What's PI?
Petrol stock take, which is we count it throughout the year.
Right.
So at the moment we're counting about 15 products a day. Because it's a busy period. But in those lesser busier times, we're able to count 100 products a day on a daily basis, which just keeps again that tighter control on stock. So instead of having to shut down for 4 days at the end of the year, we just constantly evolve.
You're doing it all the time.
Whereas this year we've got to a point where we will count everything once, and then hopefully in December we'll do 20% of the products which create 80% of the turnover. Right. So they get counted twice, which keeps control on our stock. So groups of products, prioritines, things like that, the warehouse management system is able to group them together. So left and right hand will sit in the warehouse next to each other. So we're not wasting driving time picking products.
So these little forklifts, or maybe you don't call them forklifts.
Picking trucks.
Yeah.
Young Heinrich, we had 3 new ones come in 6 weeks ago. And we have another 5 of these picking trucks coming this year, so our fleet will all be.
And you hire them or buy?
They are leased to buy.
Right, yeah.
They do about 500 to 750 hours a year.
Do they really?
Yeah.
And how many have you got?
There's 7 now.
That's some hours, isn't it?
And by the end of the year, they'll all be within a year old.
Yeah. Just looking down here somewhere, I've noticed got protection on all the start of the aisles to protect the racking. Got a fairly new looking box of parts.
This is the first time view actually of our brand new flat lift point. It's not a tungsten point, this is our new standard point.
Yeah.
We've got the Velerons at the side there, which that's soil fills in there, so helps the wear. So yeah, first time viewing.
Right.
And also a classic example of the WS system where it's linked flat lift point
next to, that's the wearing
lower shin.
Yeah.
And also in them 2 locations here is the left and right hand wings. So how it's grouped them together.
They're all next to each other.
So that's our reach forklift, does all our replenishing in the racking. So that will take our bonded stock out and into a picking location.
It only just fits down.
It does, but again it's all geared to fit with the box rail.
Yes.
And again, that's came up for renewal and the new one's coming in October.
Yeah.
It's really important that we invest in our warehouse facility and other departments within Spaldings, because at the end of the day, it's all about the customer experience, and we want to be as efficient as possible, really.
I'm a big believer is the minute you stand still, you very quickly go backwards.
The one thing from my experience of being with Spaldings over 20 odd years, and farming is very generational.
Yeah.
If you upset a farmer, it can be a long time because it gets passed down to the sons and their sons. So it's really important that we do business in a proper manner.
Yeah.
We're walking in now. This is goods out.
Yeah.
So this is the packing bay. So all the orders which have been placed today, they're all packed and ready to go. We have a collection at 12.
Yeah, it's been a minute actually. Should be arrive any minute.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we get one in about 12 o'clock, which leaves us the morning delivery. And like I said, we try and get as much on that as possible.
Also, in this area, we've got 2 carousels. In these carousels, we keep all the small components, particular for our ground care customers, where you have a lot of small O-rings and seals. So, all the products. How many products are stored in these carousels?
12,000.
Okay. 12,000 products are stored in these carousels.
Sure.
So what you can see is, so these trays here, these trays here, when we put our product number in the computer, it will work out where that tray is. It brings the tray down and then brings the tray out. We also use a lot of slow moving parts, so we're not wasting space in the main warehouse. So we can get a lot of what we'd call one product, what goes out once a year, in here out the way, because it can hold so much.
Here we have a team of packers. So you've got the pickers out there. They bring the orders out to these guys, and these guys then will pack the orders. It's either palletised or boxed. Which how many pallets are we doing roughly at the moment?
Yesterday was 65 pallets out the door.
Phenomenal amount.
We've got 3 different modes. So we have Aaron, who does Royal Mail. So that will traditionally be anything under 3 kilos.
Yeah.
Will go out on Royal Mail. We have our standard DX, which is standard conveyor belt products, which small, medium, large box, and we can put anything up to 100 kilos in multiple consignments for them. And from there, out there we have our pallet jobs. So this time of year, it's regularly over 50 pallets a day, and that's traditionally over 100 kilos out on a pallet.
There's a real art to packing these boxes, because the type of products that we're sending, it's heavy chunks of steel and points, so they have to be packed exceptionally tight. So the boxes don't break.
Just interested to see how this works. Oh, that's where it seals it. Yeah.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. So we've got plough parts, Lemkin by the look of it.
Yeah.
And what have we got here?
Sahara Times,
yeah.
Tungsten.
Yeah. And some sort of legs there, probably, feet. What this sort of thing here? What's this doing here? Is it waiting to be packed?
So this will be picked, and then around this corner we have a machine what wraps it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So when it gets wrapped, it will then go outside ready for pallets to pick up and deliver again the next day.
Yeah.
The type of products we're sending out, they're all funny shapes.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of sharp edges.
Big bulky items.
So shrink wrapping. So all this is for one farm.
Yeah.
One delivery.
Yeah.
And so out here, this is where it's all ready to be picked up.
Yeah. So we have a courier come in, pallets comes in 3:45 every day.
So the cut-off time then, when we ring up and say we want some parts,
on a pallet it's very difficult to go any later. The courier comes in 3:45, but because the amount of time taken to pick a pallet job is a lot longer than what might be a 2-line order. Yeah. We sort of try and emphasise sort of 3:45 cut off for a pallet job.
Right.
Like I say, these boys at the moment are doing 65 a day, and they are over 100 kilos a pallet. So 6.5 tons.
We've got guys in the warehouse now at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning, so you can keep on top of orders.
So that's when you start?
Yeah, at the moment, 7 o'clock till 5:30.
Right. And and when's the counter open?
Counter opens at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
Yeah.
And 5:30?
5:30.
Sales lines are open, we extend the hours, because farmers don't work.
Yeah.
8 till 5.
Yeah.
So guys out in the field, they're always available.
Yeah.
And the sales lines are open from 7:30 to 5:30.
Right. Yeah.
We're walking from our goods out.
We've just been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to walk into this area is our quality control area.
Yeah.
So this is where we test products. This is where, if we have any repairs that we can do internally, we'll repair the products here. And also we have a clean room down there where, because we're still as far on a Honda and now Crest, because we're dealers for those ranges of products, we need to have fully trained technicians. So every machine that's sold is PDI'd before it leaves the building, but also we can take in repairs as well and warranty work. I'll just introduce you to Robin and Dave.
Hello.
Looks like you're repairing.
I'm going to say, yeah.
Is this a warranty job or a customer repair?
New deck.
New deck.
New deck.
New deck put in, so trying to restore up some of the older clamps as well.
Oh wow.
So match that nice pretty deck that we've got in.
Yeah.
Corroded.
Right.
I didn't realise you did repairs as well.
Yeah, we do on those particular ranges.
Yeah.
We do repairs. It's part of the franchise.
Yeah.
The dealership. We have to do our own internal repairs. But this is where we keep product samples here. So if we want to check something that it's the part that we've brought in is the same or if not better and fitability, we can just compare against the samples that we've got.
Yeah. So we've got Adrian here who's in charge of this sort of, is it quality control, I suppose?
Quality control workshop.
Yeah. And we've got machines here testing hardness.
Correct.
And how often and do you do that? Which ones do you know to test? Why do you do it?
Well, we do it so that we know that everything that goes into that the warehouse will be correct going down to the customer. Because what we don't want is an unhappy customer then getting at their end and saying, "Oh, this is wrong for X, Y, Z." Yeah. So there's as much testing as we can do here before it goes out, eliminates that.
And how often do you do it? How do you know when to do it?
I'll show you this on this little piece here. Look, we do it to what we're calling the Spaldings acceptable quality level parameters, which is done to these ISO numbers here, BS, that's an old BS number, and that's a military spec. So, let's pick this line here. If we have between 281 and 500 pieces in a batch that comes in from the supplier, we'll then look down our general inspection levels here to F, pick F on here, and it says out of that batch, you then have to pick 20 at random to test. Now, out of that 20, if I go to make, which was an industry standard 2.5% acceptable quality level, then if I have one in that batch that isn't quite right, I can still accept that batch in. Now, if I have 2 or more out of that 20, then I will return it then to the supplier for rework.
And that's the whole batch you'd send back?
That's the whole batch we send back, yeah. We don't accept it if it's not within them parameters there. So we'll test one of these power points. It's a KV power point, our point number 0082. First of all, I'll just prepare the metal with the grinder here so we get a nice surface to test onto. Yeah. And then I'll put it onto the Brunel machine.
Okay, fantastic.
I've just prepped the material here, look, just to make sure we get a good surface finish on there for the machine to do its business.
Right.
Now, under here is a little ball, which is 10mm in diameter. And this ball will then produce an indentation into this material. And depending on the size of that indentation, will determine how hard this material is. So, clamp it in there and get to that point there, and then press the go button, and away we go. It will then go on for 12 seconds. The load here is equivalent to 3 tons or 3,000 kilograms. And it will key on there for 12 seconds, give an indentation, and then I'll be able to read it on my scope here. That's it. And now we should be able to see some kind of indentation in there. Look.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. So what we do then is we measure across the edges of that circle. That will then determine how deep it's going into the material.
Whether it's hard enough.
Hard or not. So the bigger the indentation, the softer the material, the smaller, the harder.
Great.
Then measure the distance across that, which is 2.75. So on this little piece of paper here we have 2.75. On there, look, hardness Brunel figure 495. That's 495 hardness Brunel, and the spec for wearing metal is 444 to 514 hardness Brunel.
Yeah.
So that's sort of towards the top.
Yeah.
So anything less than 444 would be deemed as not correct, obviously, and that would be too soft, which means it could wear out too quick. That kind of thing. Yeah. And anything above that, to 514 mark there, would mean it would be too hard, so it has a risk of it snapping and that kind of thing.
So where are we on this one?
So we are plumb where I'd like it to be, which is 495.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah. Yeah.
You can actually see there the indentation.
You can. Yeah. I'll just shine a little bit more light on it.
That's
Look,
it.
there it is. Look. And then obviously we need to give our suppliers something to work to as well. It's the same spec as the OEM, basically. So we just copied the OEM and use that.
And OEM for viewers is the original equipment manufacturer.
Yeah, sorry, yes, it is,
Right.
yeah.
So we've just left Ollie and Martin and Charlotte, Penny and Bella. Good night, haven't we?
We've had a cracking night, actually.
Just been
I've
in
got
the
no voice.
No, you haven't. That's nice. We've just left in the Irish bar. We had about an hour and a half now, which was absolutely brilliant, as all Irish bars are. Great music as well. So thanks ever so much for watching this update. Hope you've enjoyed it. Just to remind you that the next one from Spaldings Part 2 will be midweek, and we'll be looking at product development, customer service, and also the new machinery that Spaldings sell. What else? And development and 3D printing, which will be really interesting. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you midweek.